Did you delete the other thing?
Remember, it just died. So we lost it anyway.
I don't remember how we started with that.
We did have a decent intro.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't remember.
Well, it kind of, because you didn't know what we were doing, but now you know, so...
I can still act surprised.
You're not a good actor.
What?
What?
No!
Plan on murdering me in my sleep.
What? No!
Anyways, the point of this video, big reveal. We're doing an album review, or album reaction, I guess, from a hardcore Beatles fan as of like the last 4 or 5 months. And
to somebody who's listened to the Beatles for the past 6 years.
Someone who's listened to exclusively the Beatles for the past 4 or 5 months, or someone who is more of a...
knows some songs.
But it was funny because as of a few months ago, you were the big Beatle person in the family.
Yeah.
I knew like the most popular ones.
One of the things that we were talking about is like the difference between our fan styles. Like, I've listened to the Beatles for years and years and years now, you know. Always had them on my playlist. I've always, you know, gone back to like certain albums, certain songs, but I'd never really like branched out. Like, I listened to the songs that I know and the ones that I love, and you know, there's still many Beatles songs I haven't heard of. You got into the Beatles and it was like you listened to every single album, first song to last song. You listened to all of their solo albums. You watched documentaries on them. You've read books on them.
Yeah.
Like, every Beatles fact in the world is like in your head, you know. Meanwhile, I've listened to the Beatles for probably 10 years now.
But I think it's always like you listen to what's familiar, not just about you, like just
Well, no,
people in
definitely
general.
me.
And
I
also,
stick to what I know.
Yeah. So I like recently, I think it's been a thing where it's like with the Beatles, I listen to the same songs on pretty much on repeat. So it's been fun to kind of like get out of the comfort zone. Like, even though I want to listen to the songs that I like and I already know I like, let's just put on the albums and start listening to albums. So I kind of started at the beginning and went through all the albums. So it's been nice to kind of go through it. And I thought I would invite you into the
Go along on the magical mystery.
the magical mystery tour. We're starting off with the first album, Please Please Me. What do you know about the album?
Well, I know the song Please Please Me. I can tell you right now that just by hearing the album name, I cannot tell you what is on the album other than Please Please Me. I'm trying to remember, is it the red album with the big number 1?
Alright, looks like you have more work to do than I thought. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Shut up! Having a mental breakdown over these dogs in my house. Oh, that one's Please Please Me. Okay.
Overview of the album.
Okay.
It's released in March of 1963. It was their first official studio album.
When they became the Beatles, not the Quarrymen.
Well, they were known as the Beatles before this, but this was their first like actual album. Pete Best.
No, I don't know who Pete Best is.
Okay, obviously not.
I hate this because it makes me feel so dumb.
No, I know. I'm sorry. Pete Best was the drummer that played in them before Ringo joined.
Okay.
So Pete Best was their drummer. They get into their first recording session at EMI, which is Abbey Road Studios. That's where they record all their albums. So their first session, they get in there, and Pete Best is horrible, and they fire him. But at the request of John and Paul. So nobody really liked him. He was just there because
they needed a drummer.
They needed a drummer, yeah, and he was serviceable.
Poor Pete.
I think he was serviceable up until they started recording. They're like, okay, we gotta get somebody else. So
Yeah.
Ringo Starr steps in. This is Ringo's first. He'd only been in the Beatles for a few months, I think.
Oh, wow.
Like weeks to months when they record this album. So it's like I don't know how well he knows them, because I think they like crossed paths like leading
They're
up
just
to
like,
it.
hey, I know this guy Ringo who plays drums. Let's call him and see if he can.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much. I think they were
find
somewhat
him.
familiar with each other, I think, leading up to this. But so the same way we did like with anime reaction with Attack on Titan. I knew Attack on Titan, so I introduced you and kind of took you along with it. It's kind of the same way. I've been listening to Beatles. I really like them. So I thought I'd take you along and go through the album, see what you think. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, first song is I Saw Her Standing There. We're not going to show much of the actual reaction part because
Where'd our audio go?
I just put it down.
Oh, okay. I just looked up and
I
that was
didn't close it, I
gone.
didn't close it. It's mainly just going to be our before and after thoughts with a little bit of the reaction, just so you get the gist of what the song is. The best way I think to listen to this is to listen to the song and then...
Okay.
It's not like you have to watch an entire episode of an anime or something like that and then check back to see our afterthoughts, something like that. It's just, listen to the song. We'll show bits of it so you get the gist of the song if you don't want to go listen to yourself.
If with
you can
yourself.
listen to it yourself.
Or with a friend. You could
Yeah.
listen to it however you want.
You ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I actually do know this song. I really like this song.
I know. I figured you know this one. other tight. Still a freaking solid song. I like that song a lot.
It's really
it's hard
good.
to really react to one that you already heard. It's like there's not much reaction to it. So I was just kind of looking over my notes and stuff because it's a good song.
It is a good song. I really like that song.
Okay, bass line. Did you hear the bass line on it? Do you know what it is? It's like, remember the tune of that song,
Okay.
right? Now listen to this. This is called "I'm Talking About You" by Chuck Berry. See if you listen to any familiarities, okay?
Let me tell you about a girl I know. I met her walking down a
Listen to the bass. You hear the bass?
Yeah?
Now listen to...
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me tell you about a girl I
So McCartney said that he just took it straight from this.
But I feel like it's a very common, like, I feel like that's
I'm
not,
sure, yeah, it is. I guarantee
Like,
you.
I don't think that I would be like, that's just like that Chuck Berry. It's
Yeah, that reminds me
every
just
Beach
like that
Boy
Chuck
and-
Berry song.
I feel
Yeah.
like it's every Beatles Beach Boy monkey.
No,
like,
no,
that
it
was a
is.
very common,
It is
like,
funny though to hear like
Yeah,
him
to him
say
to be
like,
like, yeah,
"Hey,
no,
I
I just stole that."
Yeah, I basically just took it straight from that. And you listen to the song like, "Oh wow, it's like literally
really
the exact
did.
same
Like, he
thing."
just took
But
it
when
right
it comes to
from it.
music, it's like there's so many people that claim like, "Oh, that person stole this from me," or "That person stole it from me." It doesn't, like, music is so like
Yeah. I would never listen to those.
two songs because
get
other
that-
than that the songs are not similar.
Yeah, not
so
at all.
it's like
Other than
it's just
the
that
bass
one
line.
bass line. But anyways, that was interesting. Next song is Misery.
Okay.
Do you know who Helen Shapiro is? I honestly I knew who she was, and I don't know how I knew who she was because for some reason I know some of her songs. I don't know how I know them. Regardless of that, I thought she was like some big name person. She doesn't have hardly any Spotify listeners, so she's not that important. This song was written for her.
Oh.
But she rejected it for whatever reason, so the Beatles picked it up. So it's not written by Paul or John or
This was written
obviously George,
for
because George
somebody
isn't
else.
writing songs at this point. Yeah, this was written for somebody else, and they picked it up.
Okay.
Misery.
The world is treating me bad. Misery.
Is this John singing?
Yes, this is John. So this is John. I think it's technically John and Paul,
Yeah.
but this is John singing. But
Remember all the little things we've done.
I love that part.
In misery. Ooh, my misery.
La la la.
I love
la,
that.
la, la. I know. Another
It's a
thing.
cute. It's a not cute song. It's a really like catchy, like
Yeah, honestly, it's a really underrated song.
fun
in my
little
opinion.
sing along song. I think.
Yeah, exactly. I guess because it's not written by John or Paul.
Yeah.
It's just one they picked
It
up.
sounds
it kind of
very
gets
different
looked over.
than normal Beatles stuff. I feel like it
Yeah,
sounds
I
very,
feel like you can tell that it's not written
Yeah.
by them. And this album, I think, with the Beatles and even I think Beatles for Sale, there's a lot of covers
Mm-hmm.
on there. So this song, this one, and the next one, "And I Go to Him" and "Chains" are both covers. This one's kind of different though because it's not a cover. It was just a song I think they picked up. I think it was just offered. So no one ever sang this song before, but you can tell that they didn't write it.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Next one is "Anna, Go to Him." This is a John song. This is John's first solo song on the album.
big fan of John.
You come and ask me, girl. Anna. All of my life, I've been searching, but let me tell you now that every girl I've ever had, oh, Anna, you can go with him, girl.
I actually forget that I like that song.
So okay, yeah, no, I really do too. It's a good one. I will say, I think that I really like John's voice.
yeah,
Like
but you
I
can
really,
tell...
really like his songs specific. Like I love his voice.
So,
But one
Oh,
thing,
sorry, go ahead,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
No,
The one
it's
thing
all
about
good.
this song
No,
that I think irritated me a little bit is his.
Yeah, no. See, I like that part, but yeah.
Because at first I thought he was
also agree.
saying, "Oh, and,"
Yeah.
but he's like, "And."
Okay. Well, one thing also is important to say. they recorded Please Please Me is kind of infamous because they recorded it in one session. I don't know. Did you know that?
I think so. Weren't y'all just talking about this the other night?
I feel like
it was like a 10-hour, like they just went in and just knocked it out.
It's not fully true because 4 of them were recorded before, so I think it was 10 songs that they did. And John had a cold while they were doing it. I think he's even said, I don't know if he's just said about specific songs, but that he knows that he could have done them better if he was like feeling 100%. Because there's even times in this song I feel like I'm waiting for that John like that.
But he was saving it because he knew he only had.
It feels like he's holding
growl.
back a little bit in this song, which is still doesn't say anything. Because I honestly every time I listen to it, like I'm reminded that I actually kind of like. I like it a lot,
whenever he goes into the chorus or whatever, of like this, not like it feels like he could have given more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I was
you're kind of waiting for that.
That like. Scratchy.
Take us to church, like.
Yeah, like. Next song is Chains. This one is George.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's
Wow,
a George song. It's
George
another
song.
cover.
We're gonna get George. I didn't think George did songs this early in.
He didn't write songs this early.
No, I didn't mean like I didn't know that he sang solo songs this early in.
He
I
did.
guess I always just thought he was.
They gave him a few. They like threw him a couple of them.
Oh, it's sad though because this one has the least amount of plays.
Poor George. Even
poor George.
Ringo's out playing him, man, and boys. All right, Chains by Mr. Harrison.
Ooh, we get a harmonica.
My baby's got me locked up in chains. And they
Don't laugh at him. How dare you?
well, I can't break away from these chains. Can't run around. Chains are
I also appreciate the fact that all these songs are pretty short too. Yeah, it's surreal seeing that George goes from, obviously he didn't write the song, but going from singing Chains, my baby's got some of these earlier songs to where he ends up.
I think that's
in
why
my opinion, maybe just my opinion, but outwriting John and Paul. The way that he just progresses past them slowly is really kind of cool to see.
I think that's why this one made me laugh because I think that in my mind you said George songs. I was thinking like, you know, while my guitar gently weeps, here comes the sun. Like I just kind of had this like, and it was like chains, baby's got me locked up in chains.
It's like it's surreal. But even like George's solo career, like after the Beatles, it's like I know you don't know like All Things Must Pass and all of his like very even just in the Beatles, his very Indian inspired, his sitar is very Indian inspired. Like like it's just funny listening to this part of that.
And then going into
I had something else I was gonna say, but I forgot. So let's move on. Boys, by Mr. Ringo Starr.
It's very Beach Boys.
Yeah.
I've been told when a boy kisses a girl, take a trip around the world.
And the fact that he's singing while playing the drums is so awesome, man.
I know. It's weird he's singing about something other than Under the Sea.
What?
It's weird he's singing about something other than Under the Sea.
This shouldn't be called Boys. It
Should be
called
called Mer
Fish.
Boys. Boys are a bottle of joy.
Bottle of joy.
Them boys.
Bottle of boys.
What joy.
I love that. That's what always makes this song stand out for me is that
I know,
like it could use like a horns right there, you know what I mean? Like
Really take us to church.
Take him to church, bro. I almost said Romeo. Take him to church, Ringo.
Rodeo? Bottle of boys.
Bottle of boys. Bottle them up.
Bottle up them boys.
Bottle up them boys. Shut up. Ship them out. Yahoo!
I'm gonna be real honest. I'm not sure what that song was about.
The boys. It's about boys, man. It's so funny coming from. I know Pete Best has his fans. People that be like, they should have never got rid of him, man. He was good. But if you heard him play, I think he was serviceable. But there's one song that you can actually hear him play on. It's in the Anthology album, and there's a version that they recorded right before this of "Love Me Do," and Pete Best is playing on it. And it sounds horrible.
I wonder if it was like a slap in the face to Pete Best that like they kick him out of the band, get a new drummer, and then give him his own song.
I know,
like, immediately.
right?
And then Pete's like, I've been drumming with you guys for like all this time.
But
and
could he do that? Could he sing? You know what I mean? I never heard
Yeah.
Pete Best sing, so I don't know for sure. So it'd be this one. I already have it liked. I think because I was going to talk about it.
Sure. You're actually secretly a Pete Best fan.
I know. That's why it's so loud, like.
There's no like.
Wait, let me get to the like going into the.
Yeah, and then play the other one because I want to hear
Yeah.
them together.
Someone to love.
Do you hear it?
Okay,
It's
look, I'm not
really-
a drummer, okay?
But you knew that sounded like right, like he was having a hard time keeping the tempo, which
Yeah.
is something that Ringo never. But here's the original version. It's actually not even Ringo playing on this version.
Oh, really?
Now which
Oh.
one's? Yeah, come on, like it's night and day.
Wait, go just a little bit more. I just want to. Okay, yeah, it's way less aggressive.
Now,
It sounds like his drums were like moving and he was trying to.
not really
up.
to these yet, but Ringo Starr didn't play on "Love Me Do" and "P.S. I Love You." That was a different drummer named Andy White. Next one is "Ask Me Why."
I love you. If I cry, it's not because I'm sad. Ask me why. I'll say I love you, and I'm always thinking of you.
That one was good. I probably won't listen to that one again though.
That's what I'm saying. This is probably my least favorite on the album. I think that this one and Chains were the weakest of the first half. I think Misery is very overlooked.
I liked Anna.
Anna Go to Him is great.
I didn't care for Boys.
Really?
I didn't care for it.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, it's fair because no one listens to it. But
Yeah.
I like Boys. I think it's a classic Ringo. Like,
I think Ringo. Nautical Themes.
come
Octopus's
on,
Garden.
it's a classic early Ringo. Like,
Yeah,
Next up is Please Please Me. Have you heard this one?
I have.
Last night I said these words to my girl. What?
I think I just figured out what the song's about. I love the way that their voices sound together. I think they have like some of the best harmonies ever.
Yeah, I
They sound
100%
awesome
agree.
together.
That's why that's one of the reasons why the Beatles took off to begin with. Just 'cause
And this
their
is John
voices
on
are
the
so
leads,
good.
right?
Yeah, it definitely sounded like John on the
Yeah.
leads. We already talked about Love Me Do a little bit.
Good song.
It's obviously, I think it's their first like big single that
Yeah.
they did in the UK. Because even through this album, they weren't big in the US until like 64, I think. And this is early 1963, so this didn't do anything, I don't think, in the US.
So funny because Love Me Do is like so popular.
It's like
and
a
everything
classic.
now,
It's
like-
funny. I don't care for Love Me Do.
See,
I think
like
in comparison
it so
to this
much.
album, you do.
Yeah.
I think it's fair. Like on this album, it doesn't have much competition. I guess it's. I don't know. It's just not my favorite song. I would take Please Please Me over Love Me Do.
Yeah,
And it's
I like
funny
Please
looking
Please
at the plays.
No, like it's definitely not like my like favorite Beatles song, but I do think that this is like a good solid song that I still really enjoy listening to. It's still on my playlist and
Yeah.
But I don't know, I'm a sucker for harmonicas.
I'm a sucker for
They
John's
get me with those
harmonica,
every
man.
time.
With John and Paul on lead vocals.
Who does the harmonica?
It's gotta be John. John's the harmonica dude.
That's true.
Love me do.
You know I love you. I'll always be true. Love me do.
Don't really have to talk about that one too much because we already kind of talked about it before.
Yeah, we talked
One
about the
thing I
drumming.
really want to talk about was Pete Best's drumming because all the Pete Best defenders need to know he wasn't that good. Next song is P.S. I Love You.
This one starts out da 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 dum dum dum.
I don't know.
If there's anything.
That you want.
No wait.
No, that's
not even close.
To
Just
someone,
from me to you.
Yeah, I was like,
never
what?
mind.
That's not. You confused me. I was like, yeah, no.
For some reason I was thinking.
I forgot how this one started. That's why I think I was possibly believed you for a second.
Yeah, fair enough.
This is obviously the second one and the only other one that Andy White is on the drums for, with a staggering 14 million plays.
That's weird because I really thought that this was a bigger song by them. That it only has 14. I don't know why. I guess I thought that this one was like a lot more.
Beatles classic P.S. I Love You. Probably was back in the day.
You don't think of the Beatles without thinking of P.S. I Love You.
Are you ready?
Aye, Captain.
Song number 9.
As I write this letter, send my love to you. Remember that
I'll always be in love with you. P.S. I love you. You. I really like this one and Baby It's You because this is Paul and Baby It's You is John. So it's a nice, like, Paul
Yeah.
John. You know what I mean?
Paul's voice is so much softer than John's.
Yeah. And it's funny because then later, like in the last half, it's really
Paul does more of the yelling
Yeah,
tones.
with like Oh Darling and
Yeah.
like where it's like
Oh
the
Darling.
deeper. Let's die together forever. P.S. I love you. You.
Yeah, this isn't their best song.
What's funny is I'm listening to it and I'm like, wow, this is a good song.
I'm listening
And
to it,
you're
I'm
like,
I'm
"Oh,
never listening to this one again.
I actually like this one more than I thought I did. I listened to it. I'm like, I knew every word to it. I was
You're
just
a big
sitting
fan
there
of
like,
Paul's writing
like
and
softer.
styles and softer stuff. You like his grandpa music.
I do like his grandpa music, but
I know that I've heard it before. It's just been a really, really long time. But I don't know. It's fine.
I think it's a solid song.
It's solid. It's, held up, but,
Fair enough. Next up is Baby It's You by Mr. John Lennon.
You see the difference between Paul and John's listeners here.
I mean...
Whatever.
Alright, Baby It's You. Come on, John.
It's not the way you smile that touched my
Uh-oh. I forgot I like this song, too.
I sit alone at home and I can't help myself. 'Cause baby, it's you.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yep.
will say.
Yep.
He's got Paul beat on a lot of these early songs, man.
Yeah,
John
that's
is
a good
like,
song.
yeah.
Oh,
'Cause baby, it's you.
Man, freaking solid song, man. I love
Definitely.
that.
That's
That
a
was
good one.
great, and it's funny looking like back to back. It's like, oh, Paul and John. It's like, oh yeah, John takes that
Yeah.
every time. P.S. I love you. Good song. Forgot that it was a good song. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I like that song. I forgot how much I like this album in general. I
and
like
then you
playing
listen
this
to Baby
album.
It's
Like,
You, and you're like, oh, that's why I forgot what P.S. I love
everyone
you.
always writes off, myself included, the early Beatles song,
Yeah.
the early Beatles albums, because
You go to the
Sgt.
end.
Peppers and Revolver. Those songs were like, those albums were, like revolutionary for what they did, and they're big and a huge shift. But these are still good, especially compared to
Have I
like.
been sitting this far away from you this whole time?
Uh-oh.
Weren't we closer together?
You're almost off
I'm
screen.
kind of vibed myself away.
Yeah, you just danced away. Next up is Do You Want to Know a Secret by...
I'm trying to think of how it sounds. It's John, right?
No.
It's Paul?
No. This is a
Is this a
Mr.
Ringo?
George song. Ringo! So what's funny about this song is that John and Paul both hate it, and they just had to write a song for George. So they wrote a song that they didn't really care for. And what's even... John said he only put 3 notes in it because George isn't a very good singer. They talked down to George so much like George
But look at
isn't a good
this.
singer.
He beat both of them out right here.
But on the 3 like singles or whatever.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
This one I
but
know
it's
the
funny
best,
that they wrote like a throwaway song for George, and it's still a classic. Like everybody knows this song.
I like this song a lot.
Alright, Do You Want to Know a Secret by Mr. Harrison.
You'll never know how much I
Oh, yeah, it's George. I
Yeah,
can tell by the voice.
yeah.
I was thinking, I think it sounds more like John, but
You'll never know. Listen. Do you want to know a secret?
Do you promise not to tell? Whoa, whoa, closer. Let me whisper in your ear.
Say the words you long to hear. I'm in love with you. Do you want to know a secret? I'm in love with you.
It's funny for such like a throwaway song, as they say. It's still a good song. I like
it's a
that
good.
song.
I like it. I think it's so cute.
George, what are they talking about? George can't sing, or
George
George
did
isn't
good.
the. I think he said he's not the best singer or
Oh,
something like
John,
that.
get off your high horse.
Next up at number 12, it's A Taste of Honey. We are on the downswing. Maybe we have 2 or 3 songs left. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, Taste of Honey.
A taste of honey.
Ooh.
This is a Paul song, I think. There's a Paul song.
I feel upon my lips and why tasting much sweeter than wine. I'll come back, he'll come back for the money. And you.
What'd you think of Paul's last solo?
Can I give my thoughts?
Yeah.
Okay. Did not like it. Do you want to know what I heard the whole time the song was playing? And I don't know why this is what it reminded me of. But do you remember in church whenever we used to play the drums and we would do like the whole like praise worship thing?
Oh yeah.
Do you know what song I'm thinking of?
He
like
is
Jehovah,
Jehovah,
the God Almighty, and then it goes into sing Hallelujah. Sing
Oh,
Hallelujah.
okay.
I don't know
yeah,
why
yeah,
that's
yeah.
in my head. I think it is just similar, like the style or something. I don't know.
I think I know what you're saying because I can see that now. What you're saying.
That's all I can
does
like
taste
picture.
A lot. Taste. I was looking at it. Taste. Yeah, it tastes.
It tastes
right.
the same. Not my favorite.
I agree. I think A Taste of Honey is my least favorite. I think Ask Me Why is probably slightly above that.
I would say that I don't like A Taste of Honey. I don't like Ask Me Why. Didn't care for P.S. I Love You, and I didn't care for Boys.
2 more left.
All right.
There's a Place. Have you heard this one before?
I think so. Yeah, I've heard this one.
There's a place, and it's my mind, and there's no time. I think
I like that.
Yeah.
in my mind there's no sorrow. Don't you know that it's so? Don't you know that it's so?
That's so good. I'm gonna go on a limb. This is an underrated,
Yeah.
really underrated.
Yeah,
Beatles
this is a good
song.
one.
It's funny that this and A Taste of Honey have almost the same amount of plays.
I know. This one's better.
Oh, by far. Ooh. Also, the writing it's funny because you even said it on Please CC. You're like, oh, I just realized this song's about. You don't pay attention much to the writing, I don't think, in a lot of these songs, really, because it's all fairly, I'm not saying it's generic, but it's Beatles
just
in the
catchy.
early, or yeah, it's like catchy,
Yeah.
basic love songs or whatever. But I like you, every once in a while you'll catch on and be like, oh, you get glimpses of
Yeah.
later Beatles in this. Like, there's a place I can go, it's my mind, but the whole premise of a
So
place
there's
I can go.
the Beach Boys song. It's like, there's a place where I can go, but it's my room.
Yeah, that's us. Yeah, very solid. I like that one. That's one of my favorites.
that's
I
a good
think.
one.
I forget that. I said about almost every song. I forget how much
I
I
really
like
like
this
that song. I haven't heard that one in a very long time.
All right, let's close it
Good
off
one.
with Twist and Shout.
All right.
It's funny. I just talked about, you said something about John having more than Paul, so I was like, John kind of blows it away with Twist and Shout.
Twist
Another
and Shout.
cover.
I know you don't. This is one you don't care for.
No, I love this song. I said I didn't care about it, I think, because I'm just like, it's same with Roll Over Beethoven,
Yeah.
just songs that I thought were overplayed. But after I re-listened to the song, I'm like, no, man, John freaking
Yeah.
even if you don't care for the song, John's performance is just freaking amazing. This
Yeah.
was the last song they recorded in their session. They had basically one shot at it to get it right. John hates it because he thinks that he could have done better, but
You probably could have.
I mean, dude, he literally sang for his life on this song, and it makes it so much more enjoyable to listen to it, knowing that
Yeah.
they had one shot at this and we're listening to it, like a once in a life, you know what I mean?
This was it.
Lightning in a bottle, it's history. And I know I'm overhyping it now.
If they didn't
but...
get it, they probably could just put it on the next album. It would have been fine.
All right, let's round it all out with
Twist and Shout.
Twist and Shout.
Well, shake it up, baby, now. Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. Come on, baby, now, baby. Just like I knew you would, like I knew you would. Come on and twist a little closer now. Twist a little closer. Let me know that you're mine.
I was thinking of George's eyebrows.
I was just thinking about his school.
And what's
Gah,
yeah, and what's funny is they tried to do a second take of this, and John couldn't do it. So this was literally all they had to work with was this one. It's
good.
So that was Please Please Me. Give us a top 5.
Ooh, okay, this is gonna be hard. I am going to say that my number 1 song from this album is gonna be Baby It's You. I feel like that is definitely one that I'm going to listen to multiple times. I really like that one. Anna, Go to Him is another one that I really like. I feel like the other ones are just all ones that I knew already. I don't think there were very many new songs that I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna for sure like. The other ones, I think I was kind of like, give or take, you know.
Right.
I would say, Please Please Me, Love Me Do. I have to. I love that song. And, Twist and Shout.
For underrated, I'd say Misery and There's a Place.
Oh, I like Misery too. I will say Misery's a good one. I did like those too, but
Baby It's You. I've always been and I'd have to find a generic. But I'd say I Saw Her Standing There and Twist and Shout. I Saw Her Standing There is a great Paul song.
And a great John song.
I don't think he's quite there yet. He hasn't got to Yellow Submarine
Once we get to Dr. Garden, that's number 1, obviously.
And I think compared to later George, Do You Want to Know a Secret? Still like a good song.
It's a good song.
Chains was probably one of my least favorite. It's very generic. But yeah, that would be
fine.
my top 5. And I guess no particular order.
I would say good album. I learned new things today.
What's the name of the next album?
Is this the red album with the yellow number 1?
The Red Album. Is this the Red Album?
You know what I'm talking about.
No, that's not a real album. It's just it's their number. It's called 1 because it's all their number 1s. It's like a compilation
I literally thought
album.
that was just an album.
No, it was a compilation album. No, the next one is called With the Beatles. It has the first song George ever wrote. So George actually wrote a song on that album. I think they're pretty equal from what I remember. I'm gonna be kind of excited because I don't remember.
I feel the next one's gonna have like Can't Buy Me Love and.
No, we're not quite to that yet.
Really, I thought that was like early.
Yeah, it is, but I think it's all on Hard Day's Night, which is the 3rd album.
Big fan of John.
Bottom line, John.
Bottom line.
John over. You'll always pick John over.
I'm always
Paul.
gonna pick John over Paul. It's not. Yeah, that's just how it is. Paul has good songs. I like a lot of Paul songs, but John over Paul every day.
I don't know, but we'll have to see when we get further into the discography what you think.
Yeah, maybe once we start listening to every song, I'm gonna maybe have another. I feel like right now though my playlist is mainly
if
John
you like
songs.
artsy songs and like weird things, you'll get to wait till you hear like Revolution 9 and you'll really like that one, I think.
I'm excited.
All right. I'm sure that'll amplify your feelings of John.
Probably. I've already tried to name several kids after him, so.
All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye.
No leave a like, no asking for subscribes. Just cut me off.
No, I don't care that much.
I don't care about them.